Have you ever noticed how the tiniest, most meaningless things can suddenly make you erupt? A driver crawling in the fast lane, a careless comment on social media, a coworker who blurts something clueless. It's almost embarrassing how quickly a small irritation can hijack your whole day. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's rarely the event itself that angers you. It's the control you hand away in that very moment. That's why the Stoics treated anger like a stealthy enemy, not theatrical, not loud, but quietly corrosive. Epictetus put it plainly, you can't manage what happens to you, only how you respond, and if you let every little annoyance throw you off, you're not living with purpose. You're merely reacting. Today we change that. In this video, you'll learn 7 Stoic strategies to stop getting angry at trivial things. The petty irritations that steal your focus, drain your energy, and leave you feeling powerless. By the end, you'll know exactly how to remain calm, composed, and in control, no matter how foolish the world gets. 1. The Stoic pause. This is the single moment that prevents you from destroying your own peace. Before anger sweeps you away, there is always a tiny opening, a brief, invisible pause where you still hold total control. Most people miss it. They react before they even understand what's happening. The Stoics trained themselves to live inside that gap. Every personal explosion begins with a spark, a rude tone, a careless action, a thoughtless remark. Something small, something insignificant, yet it lands like a blow. The automatic urge is immediate: retaliate, prove your point, make them pay. But here's the painful reality: that first reaction is usually the worst one. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. He wasn't only talking about big tragedies, he meant the petty slights that try to kidnap your day, the things that annoy you for 5 seconds and ruin your mood for 5 hours. The Stoic pause is the antidote. When irritation rises, the brain floods with impulses. The Stoic response is not to battle those impulses, but to pause long enough for them to weaken. Picture this. You're in heavy traffic and someone cuts you off. Your chest tightens, jaw clenches, the mind screams to react, honk, shout, show dominance. Instead, you take one slow, deliberate breath. Just one. In that breath, something shifts. The emotional fog lifts. You see the situation for what it is. A stranger who doesn't even know you exist. A momentary error that doesn't deserve a second of your peace. That's the power of a pause. The same thing happens at work. A colleague makes a clueless comment in a meeting. Your instinct is to snap, correct them, protect your reputation. But the Stoic pause stops the reflex and asks a simple question. Is this worth my energy? Most of the time, the honest answer is no. The pause is not weakness, not submissiveness. It's strength under control, power with restraint. As Epictetus taught, intense emotions arrive as first waves, automatic and unavoidable. But what follows is your choice. That's where freedom lives. Inside the pause, you create space. In that space, perspective returns. With perspective, anger dies because it runs out of oxygen. The Stoic pause works in 3 fast steps. 1. Pause. Even 2 seconds is enough. Your body freezes, your mind catches up. 2. Breathe. A slow exhale tells your brain you're not in real danger. The surge subsides. 3. Question. Ask, does this deserve my peace, or is this my ego trying to control? 9 times out of 10, it's ego, the part of you that expects the world to be fair, predictable, and respectful. But the world isn't, and people aren't. The Stoics understood. You cannot stop chaos, but you can refuse to let it live in your mind. And here's the beauty. The more you practice the pause, the larger that window becomes. Your reactions slow, your clarity grows, your dignity returns. You stop being dragged by every small irritation. You begin choosing responses like a calm warrior, measured, intentional, unshakable. Action challenge. Today, just once, when something stupid triggers you, don't react. Pause, breathe, question, choose. One small victory over anger is one giant step toward mastering yourself. 2. Reframe the insult. Nothing is truly an insult until you decide to accept it. Much of our anger doesn't come from words themselves, but from what we believe those words mean. A stranger says something thoughtless. A friend blurts a careless line. A reply online reads like an attack. Instantly, your mind interprets it as a personal assault. But the Stoic truth is simple. An insult only becomes yours if you agree to carry it. Epictetus taught that what disturbs us is not events themselves, but our opinions about them. This single idea can dismantle half of the anger in your life. Because most of the stupid things that upset you were never actually about you. People act from their moods, from stress, from insecurity, from ignorance, from biases, or simply from bad habits. And still you absorb their words as if they are accurate reflections of your worth. Imagine someone calls you incompetent. Before the insult reaches your self-worth, there is only a sound, a fact. Everything after that is interpretation. Your ego fills the silence. They disrespected me. They're judging me. I must defend myself. But what if you asked a different question? What does this say about them? Suddenly the power shifts. A rude person exposes their upbringing or their character, not your value. A jealous person attacks your confidence, not your integrity. An ignorant person reveals their limits, not yours. That's the Stoic reframe. People show you who they are through how they treat others. Their words act as mirrors, but they reflect themselves, not you. When you see it this way, their insults lose their sting. Let's take a common situation. You offer an idea at work, and someone responds with sarcasm. Your pride wants vengeance. Your ego wants to be right. The Stoic mind pauses and reframes. This isn't about me, it's about their insecurity. This isn't an attack, it's a sign of low emotional maturity. Reframing doesn't mean tolerating abuse. It means refusing to personalize it. Because the moment you personalize, you hand your peace to someone who hasn't earned it. Another example, a stranger calls you an idiot online. Your reflex is to reply, to defend, to prove them wrong. Instead ask, who posts comments like that? What is their life like? When you answer honestly, anger fades. Reality isn't a battle worth fighting. Stoics didn't fear insults because they knew words only mean what you allow them to mean. If a child says something cruel, you don't feel offended because you know they lack understanding. If an adult acts like a child, apply the same rule. Here's a practical 3-step Stoic reframe. 1. Depersonalize the words. Hear them as raw noise, not judgments. 2. Identify the source. Insecurity, projection, ignorance, stress. 3. Reassign the meaning. Instead of, they insulted me, shift to, they revealed themselves. This shift gives you emotional immunity. You stop absorbing the energy of people who haven't earned your attention. You stop fighting battles that aren't yours. Reason dissolves anger. Perspective kills irritation. Reframing returns the power to where it belongs, inside you. Action challenge. Think of 3 comments that recently upset you. Rewrite each with a Stoic reframe. What does this say about them, not me? Do this and you'll find half your anger gone overnight. 3. The control filter. Stop trying to fix things that were never yours to fix. Nothing creates pointless fury faster than attempting to control what doesn't belong to you. Stupid comments, rude behavior, other people's ignorance, traffic, delays, tone of voice. All these tiny irritations share one thing in common. They are someone else's behavior, not your responsibility. The Stoics held a stark truth. Most suffering comes from trying to govern what lies beyond your reach. Epictetus made it clear, some things are within your control and some are not. Anger thrives when you confuse the two. Here's the pattern. Someone does something dumb. You feel a spark of irritation and your mind flips into fix mode. They must understand. They should behave better. They must respect me. But you can't change another person's intelligence, upbringing, or emotional maturity. You can't alter their timing, their mood, or their baggage. What you can control is whether you let their behavior enter your mental space. So create a control filter, a mental gate that sorts everything into two columns. Column A, things I control, my responses, my interpretation, my tone, my decisions, my effort, my standards. Column B, things I don't control, their attitudes, their ignorance, their mistakes, their timing, their emotional storms. Every time you find yourself angry about a small thing, it's almost certain your mind is fighting something in column B. Picture this at work. A co-worker interrupts mid-sentence and says something half-baked. Instinct pushes you to correct them, to raise your voice, to reclaim your dignity. But the control filter asks, is this mine to fix? In almost every case, the answer is no. You cannot fix their awareness, but you can manage your response. Refocus on column A and watch the anger lose its power. Another example, you wake up in a good mood and a stranger posts a nasty reply to your post. Your knee-jerk reaction is to engage, to show them. But the filter says, this belongs to column B. Don't enter, save your energy, protect your mental borders. The Stoics practice this constantly. They refused to be the judge of every event. Their peace depended on clear boundaries between what they could shape and what they could not. Action challenge. Next time something small triggers you, ask one question. Is this mine to control? If the answer is no, do nothing. Conserve your attention for what actually belongs to you. 4. Expect friction. One reason trivial things trigger you is that you secretly expect the world to be convenient, polite, or fair. That expectation is a setup for frustration. The Stoics recommended premeditatio malorum, a brief rehearsal of possible troubles, to toughen the mind. Expect friction, expect mistakes, expect rudeness, not to be cynical, but to be prepared. When you anticipate obstacles, you don't hand your peace away every time something goes wrong. Think of it this way. The Stoics trained like athletes for the mind. They deliberately exposed themselves to small discomforts so the big ones wouldn't overwhelm them. Seneca slept on hard beds, Marcus Aurelius embraced discomfort, and Epictetus reminded students to picture potential problems. These practices don't make you miserable. They inoculate you against surprise. The daily annoyances stop being betrayals and become ordinary facts. When someone behaves poorly, you're less likely to interpret it as a personal affront and more likely to treat it as expected noise. Action challenge? Each morning, quickly list 3 minor things that could annoy you that day. A traffic jam, a rude email, a delayed delivery. Mentally rehearse responding calmly. This small ritual decreases shock and shrinks anger. 5. Limit exposure. If certain environments or people are repeat sources of pointless anger, limit your exposure. Stoicism is not about becoming a hermit, but about stewarding your energy. You don't owe every person your attention. You don't have to be present for every argument. If scrolling through a comment section repeatedly ignites you, set boundaries. If a colleague persistently drains you, interact tactically. Protect your mind like the precious resource it is. That means practical steps. Mute, block, step away, or change the subject. It also means internal limits. Refuse to ruminate on what you can't change. Rumination is like feeding coal to a fire that burns your own house. The Stoics were ruthless about this. They recognized that self-discipline includes protecting your inner citadel. If someone keeps testing you, change the conditions. Move conversations to written form. Create structured interactions. Refuse to play on their terms. Action challenge. Identify one habit, one person, or one platform that consistently triggers you. Set a clear boundary, even for a day, and observe the difference in your mood. 6. Practice compassionate detachment. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. It's the ability to see people's suffering and mistake-making without personalizing it. Remember, people's worst behavior often comes from pain, fear, or ignorance. When you view rude or thoughtless acts through that lens, it's harder to be outraged. You begin to feel compassion instead of fury. This doesn't mean you accept abuse. It means you respond from strength, not from reactivity. A compassionate stance lets you correct when necessary, but without the emotional charge. It allows you to offer feedback without making it personal. It also keeps your dignity intact. The Stoics believed in humane firmness. Be kind, but hold boundaries. See faults as opportunities to understand, not invitations to explode. Action challenge. When someone irritates you, pause and ask, what pain or fear might be behind this? Try to imagine the story that could explain their behavior. It will soften the heat. 7. Build a long-term practice. Quick fixes don't work. Stoicism is a practice, not a hack. The habits that keep you calm are built slowly. Daily pauses, constant reframing, steady boundary setting, regular rehearsal for friction, and ongoing compassion. Keep a journal. At night, note 3 moments when you almost lost your temper and how you handled them. Track progress, not perfection. Over time, your baseline will change. You'll be less surprised by small failures and less willing to sacrifice peace for fleeting wins. You'll experience more control not because the world conforms to you, but because you've trained your inner world to be unshakable. Final action challenge. This week, pick one principle. Pause, reframe, control filter, expectation rehearsal, boundary setting, compassionate detachment, or journaling, and apply it every day. Notice how your reactions shift. Conclusion. Anger over stupid things is a tax you pay on the life you could be living. It drains your energy, corrodes your relationships, and hands your power to people who don't deserve it. Stoic practice gives you a different path, not suppression, not cold indifference, but mindful choice. Pause, reframe, protect your boundaries, expect friction, show compassion, train daily. Do these things and you'll stop letting small, foolish things steal your peace. You'll stop giving away control. You'll begin living with intention. This is just noise. It doesn't belong to me. And the moment I remember that, emotional freedom returns. The control filter works because it forces your mind to shift from reacting blindly to taking responsibility. It moves you from, why are they acting like this, to, what can I choose right now? The strongest Stoic warriors weren't calm because their world was peaceful. They were calm because they refused to let the world govern their inner state. Here's how to apply the control filter instantly. Step 1, notice the spark. Feel that first sting of irritation? That's your signal. Step 2, ask the question, is this in my control? Step 3, sort it out. If the answer is yes, act with clarity. If no, drop it immediately. Step 4, redirect. Bring your attention back to what is actually yours, your tone, your breath, your next move. Anger loses its force when responsibility becomes sharp and specific. You don't need to agree with people. You don't need to correct them. You don't need to carry their confusion or chaos back home. Your peace is far too valuable to waste on things that were never yours to control. Action challenge. Take a sheet of paper. Draw 2 columns. On the left, right, my control. On the right, not my control. Now fill both sides with the real frustrations you experienced this week. You'll be shocked to realize that nearly every silly thing that made you angry sits on the right side, the side you should have released instantly. Master this filter and stupid things stop having power over you. 4. Choose the size of the problem. Don't let small things ruin your entire day. One of the fastest ways to stop getting angry at meaningless things is incredibly simple. Stop giving small problems massive power. Most people don't get angry because life is unbearable. They get angry because they treat every tiny annoyance like a full-scale disaster. A spilled drink, a delayed text, someone chewing loudly, a rude stranger, or a message delivered in the wrong tone. None of these threaten your life, but your mind reacts like they do. The Stoics understood this flaw deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it's endurable, then endure it. If it's not, then stop complaining." In other words, if something is small, treat it like something small. If something is serious, deal with it. But don't sit in pointless anger about things that don't deserve your energy. The modern mind does the opposite. It exaggerates. It dramatizes. It turns breadcrumbs into mountains. You waste hours being furious about things that didn't deserve even 30 seconds of attention. So here's the Stoic correction. Assign the real size to the problem before reacting. Consider this example. You're at a cafe. The barista hands you the wrong order. Your immediate reaction wants to flare up. You paid for something specific and didn't get it. But pause and classify. Is this a level 10 crisis or a level 2 inconvenience? Almost always, it's a 1 or 2. But when you respond to a level 2 issue with level 10 anger, you drain your emotional battery, poison your mood, and sabotage your day. Worse, you hand over your dignity to a moment that never deserved that power. Think back to the last time you were angry over something trivial. 5 hours later, did it matter? 5 days later, did you even remember it? Anger tricks you into believing the moment is gigantic. Perspective reminds you it's tiny. The Stoics deliberately practiced shrinking problems. They mentally zoomed out and asked, will this matter tomorrow, next month, next year? And if the answer was no, they refused to let it dominate their emotions. This mental zoom out instantly collapses most irritations. Let's look at a real example. You're driving and someone cuts you off. Your heart jumps, adrenaline kicks in, and for a split second, it feels huge. But then the Stoic lens steps in and asks, is this a real threat or just a brief inconvenience I'll forget in 10 minutes? You realize it's nothing, a flicker, a moment not worth losing your peace over. Here's a truth many never learn. Not every problem deserves an emotional reaction. Not every frustration deserves your fire. Not every irritation deserves space in your mind. When you give tiny things tremendous energy, you live a tiny life. Your peace becomes fragile, and your stability depends on the world acting perfectly, which it never will. So here's the Stoic method to regain control. Step 1. Rate the irritation on a scale from 1 to 10. Be brutally honest. Most so-called major problems are actually a 2. Step 2. Match your reaction to the rating. Level 2 problem, level 2 response. Short, calm, dismissive. Step 3. Decide if the moment even deserves a reaction at all. Most dumb things don't. Silence is often the most powerful answer. Step 4. Shift your focus to something meaningful. Your goals, your values, your priorities, not the noise trying to hijack your attention. The moment you stop letting every tiny inconvenience shake you, you start living like someone who truly owns their inner world. steady, grounded, untouchable. Anger becomes uncommon. Peace becomes your baseline. And small problems finally shrink back to where they belong. Small. Mini action challenge. For the next 7 days, keep an annoyance log. Every time something bothers you, jot it down and rate it from 1 to 10. By the end of the week, you'll see the truth. Almost every moment that made you angry was far too small to deserve a reaction. 5. Emotional minimalism. Protect your peace like it's priceless. Here's a truth most people never grasp. Your peace is a luxury. And every time you get angry at something insignificant, you spend that luxury on something worthless. Emotional minimalism is the Stoic practice of conserving your inner energy, refusing to let pointless nonsense drain what's valuable. Just like minimalists remove useless objects from their spaces, Stoics remove useless emotional reactions from their minds, because nothing drains joy faster than overreacting to things that don't matter. Think about a normal day. How many little things try to provoke you? A co-worker's passive remark, a family member's unnecessary comment, a stranger's attitude, a notification that breaks your focus, a pointless argument online. Most people throw away their peace instantly. The Stoic approach is different. You protect your emotional energy like a fortress. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that he would encounter people who were arrogant, irritating, ignorant, rude, or selfish. Yet he refused to let any of them disturb his inner world. He understood that peace doesn't come from a quiet environment, it comes from a disciplined mind. Emotional minimalism is this discipline in motion. Instead of reacting to everything, you learn to respond to almost nothing. Instead of wrestling with every irritation, you accept that most don't deserve a single breath. Instead of diving into drama, you walk away with composure. It's not avoidance, it's prioritization. Your energy, focus, and emotional clarity are limited resources. When you waste them on trivial nonsense, you starve the things that actually matter. Imagine waking up with a limited number of emotional coins. If you spend them on pettiness, irritation, gossip, and pointless arguments, nothing remains for your growth, purpose, relationships, or well-being. But when you embrace emotional minimalism, your coins go only to what creates genuine value. Here's what emotional minimalism looks like in daily life. 1. You stop responding to provocations. Someone tries to drag you into conflict. Your response is silence, not because you're afraid, but because you refuse to waste energy justifying yourself to chaos. 2. You detach from other people's moods. Someone's bad morning isn't your responsibility. Someone's insecurity isn't your task. Someone's resentment isn't your burden. 3. You choose peace over being right. Winning arguments doesn't improve your life. Keeping your composure does. 4. You decide what deserves a reaction, and most things don't. The world doesn't automatically earn access to your emotional center. 5. You don't attend every fight you're invited to. Some battles are beneath you. Let others wrestle with their own storms. You stay above. This discipline creates a quiet strength that people notice. You become the steady one, the grounded one, the person who cannot be shaken by nonsense. That's real power. Emotional minimalism doesn't remove irritation from life. It simply stops irritation from owning you. Let's look at a real example. A co-worker throws a snarky comment your way. Normally you'd react, push back, match their tone. But now you take a slow breath and say to yourself, "This is not worth spending my peace on." You respond neutrally, briefly, or not at all. You move forward while they stay trapped in their negativity. That is emotional wealth. That is maturity. People expect you to join their emotional battles. They want you defensive, triggered, spiraling. When you remain calm, you take away their power. This is why Stoics say, disengage with dignity, not out of fear, but out of self-respect. Your peace is the currency of your life. Spend it only on what matters. Action challenge. For the next 24 hours, every time something tries to provoke you, respond with either not worth it, a neutral all right, or complete silence. Track how many conflicts end the moment you refuse to give them energy. Emotional minimalism isn't about caring less, it's about caring smarter. 6. Build a higher standard. A strong mind doesn't break over small things. The smaller your purpose, the easier it is for minor frustrations to shake you. The larger your purpose, the less patience you have for nonsense. This is one of the deepest Stoic truths. People who snap over trivial matters are those who haven't built anything bigger to live for. When your mind has no mission, every irritation feels disruptive. When your mind does have a mission, most annoyances fade into the background. Look at anyone with a strong sense of direction: entrepreneurs, leaders, artists, athletes, warriors, parents with real responsibilities. They simply don't have the bandwidth to get rattled by small-minded stupidity. Why? Their internal standards are high, and high standards naturally filter out low-level distractions. Marcus Aurelius wasn't bothered by petty annoyances because he was running an empire. Epictetus didn't waste time arguing with rude people because he was busy mastering himself. Seneca didn't engage in trivial anger because he was focused on sharpening his wisdom. In modern life, your empire isn't a kingdom, it's your mindset, your growth, your craft, your health, your values, your goals. If these aren't defined, anything and anyone can disrupt you. Here's the Stoic rule: raise your standard, and trivial things can no longer reach you. When you operate with low standards, you expect the world to behave perfectly. You want everyone to be polite, logical, aware, efficient, and emotionally intelligent. But the world isn't like that. People are messy, people are selfish, people are clueless, people make mistakes, people annoy you. If your standard is, everyone must treat me perfectly, you'll live frustrated. But if your standard is, I stay disciplined regardless of others, you become unshakable. Here's a practical example. A man with no purpose spends his day irritated, complaining about slow drivers, rude strangers, and minor inconveniences. He's emotionally fragile because nothing anchors him. A man with a mission wakes up at 5, trains, works on himself, builds something meaningful, and protects his time. He doesn't collapse over small frustrations because he's too busy aiming at something significant. Purpose builds emotional armor. When you focus on higher goals, your tolerance for pettiness drops naturally. You simply don't care enough to react. Your anger becomes selective, reserved only for things that truly matter. This is why Stoics emphasize a hierarchy of values. When your life is organized around principles, priorities, and long-term goals, you stop giving trivial matters access to your emotions. Here's how to build that higher standard. Define your mission. What are you building? Who are you becoming? Where are you aiming? Without a clear direction, every irritation feels huge. Set personal rules. For example, I don't raise my voice at stupidity. I protect my focus. I choose dignity over reaction. Rules turn emotional chaos into clarity. Guard your attention. Attention is the gateway to anger. If you let every minor thing enter your mind, the world will chip away at you piece by piece. Measure yourself by your standards, not others' behavior. Someone being rude doesn't justify you losing your center. Someone being careless doesn't give you permission to lose your discipline. Your standard defines you, not them. Here's a powerful truth. When you rise, small things fall away. The higher you climb, the quieter stupidity becomes. It's not that the world gets smarter, it's that you stop lowering yourself to meet it. When your purpose is big, your anger becomes small. When your direction is clear, your reactions are calm. When your standards are high, your peace becomes non-negotiable. Action challenge. Write down 5 values or goals that define the best version of you. Ask yourself, would the strongest version of me get angry at this? Let your standards, not impulses, guide your reactions. A strong mind doesn't break over small things. It rises above them. 7. Detach from the outcome. Don't let every interaction pull you into a battle. One of the biggest reasons we get angry at trivial things is that we're secretly attached to outcomes that don't matter. We want conversations to go smoothly. We want people to understand us. We want everyone to act logically, fairly, respectfully, and maturely. Even when dealing with someone careless, dramatic, or clueless, we expect them to act correctly. When they don't, anger rises, not because of their actions, but because of our expectations. Stoics solved this with one principle: detach from the outcome. Control your input, release the rest. You don't control how people receive your words. You don't control whether they agree with you, appreciate your effort, respect your boundaries, or understand your point. You don't control whether they act appropriately or ridiculously. You control only your contribution to the situation. The moment you stop trying to control outcomes, your anger begins to fade. Consider a common scenario. You explain something clearly and do everything right. Yet someone still responds senselessly. Your instinct is to defend yourself, clarify again, push harder. But the Stoic mind pauses and says, I did my part. Their reaction is not mine. Detachment isn't coldness or indifference, it's clarity. It's knowing where your responsibility ends. Most anger comes from crossing that line. Think of the last time you were annoyed with someone. Was it because of what they did, or because they didn't deliver the outcome you wanted? You wanted them to listen. You wanted them to apologize. You wanted them to change. You wanted them to understand. You wanted them to be better. Expectations create emotional traps. Detachment breaks them. Here's a powerful truth. You cannot force maturity into someone who hasn't developed it. You cannot force logic into someone ruled by emotion. You cannot force respect from someone who lacks self-respect. You cannot force clarity from someone committed to confusion. So why let them control your peace? Stoics mastered the art of disengagement, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom. Epictetus taught that suffering comes from wanting the world to match your desires. Peace comes from aligning your desires with reality. And reality is simple. People will be inconsistent. People will misunderstand you. People will say stupid things. People will project their issues onto you. People will assume, blame, lash out, get defensive, and talk in circles. That's their life. Your life is choosing not to participate in the chaos. Here's the Stoic technique for detachment in real time. Step 1. Identify your role. What is yours to do? Communicate clearly. Yes. Stay calm. Yes. Set boundaries. Yes. Fix their reaction. No. Step 2. Deliver your part with clarity and dignity. Say what needs to be said once, calmly. You don't owe repetition. Step 3. Release the outcome. If they understand, great. If they don't, that's life. Move on. Step 4. Walk away when needed. Not every interaction deserves closure. Not every conversation deserves a victory. Sometimes the win is simply not getting dragged in. When you detach, you gain a quiet power people feel. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing validation. You stop arguing with irrationality. You stop letting fools pull you into their theater. You choose peace over performance, clarity over chaos, direction over distraction. Here's a real example. Someone sends you a passive-aggressive message. Old you reacts, explains, clarifies, defends. New you reads it, breathes, responds minimally, or not at all, because you know you're not responsible for managing their emotional mess. That's detachment. That's self-respect. Action challenge. This week, when someone says or does something dumb, ask yourself, am I reacting to the action or to the outcome I'm demanding from them? Then choose the Stoic path. Do your part. Detach. Move on. The less you cling to outcomes, the less the world can disturb you. 8. Stoic protocol, 30 seconds to kill anger. When something stupid tries to provoke you, you don't need a long speech, a therapy session, or a deep philosophical debate. You need a protocol. A short, sharp sequence that pulls you out of the emotional fire before it burns your entire day. This is the Stoic 30-second protocol. Use it the very moment irritation appears. Pause, 3 seconds, freeze the reaction, don't speak, don't move. Interrupt the emotional impulse before it becomes behavior. Breathe, 5 seconds, slow exhale through the nose. This tells your brain, I'm not threatened, and stops anger from escalating. Label the emotion, 5 seconds. Say to yourself, I'm irritated, I'm triggered, I feel disrespected. Naming it weakens it. Your brain shifts from reaction to observation. Shrink the problem, 7 seconds. Ask, is this a level 2 problem pretending to be a level 10? 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. Perspective kills the drama instantly. Choose your standard, 5 seconds. Ask, what would the strongest version of me do? Not the emotional version, not the impulsive version, the disciplined version. Respond or walk away, 5 seconds. If it's worth addressing, speak calmly and briefly. If it's not, disengage with dignity. Walking away isn't weakness, it's mastery. In just 30 seconds, you go from reactive to intentional, from emotional to rational, from triggered to untouchable. Use this protocol every time a trivial thing tries to own your mood. Soon, irritation won't control you. You'll control the moment. Claim your peace back. You've just learned the core Stoic tools that turn anger into clarity and irritation into nothing more than background noise. Remember this, most things that try to upset you aren't worth your energy, attention, or dignity. You're not here to react to every annoyance. You are here to choose your inner state deliberately, calmly, powerfully. When someone says something stupid, when life throws small frustrations your way, when chaos tries to pull you in, pause, breathe, use your standards, use your protocol. Protect your peace like the valuable currency it is, because peace isn't given. It's built and defended by the choices you make, moment by moment. Your affirmation for today, I choose peace over anger.